This is my Pouchette Coussin, and I have it because a Louis Vuitton salesperson lied to me. So I'm going to tell you all about that, how to do your research, think things through. Yes, this is still one of my favorite bags, but I would not have bought it at the time that I did. And it was a pressure sales, and the pressure sale worked because they absolutely lied to me. Oh my gosh. So don't let this happen to you. I'm going to review this bag and I'm going to let you know about my experience so that hopefully you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Lexi. If you're not, welcome back. Always happy to see you again. I love to review designer and luxury items, giving you a really good insider look at the items before you take that expensive plunge, especially with today's special details on what the in-person experience was like with a specific SA and kind of protecting you that way. So let me tell you about that. But first, let me give you a little bit about this bag. So this is the Pouchette Coussin. There are technically two if you were to look it up. So there is a larger size that is, I think, a little bit less expensive. We're talking like $100 or $50. It's very different. This, I would say, is more of a wallet on chain. It is much more akin to the larger sizes. It has the same chain, that sort of thing. The other one has a different sort of chain. It's a little bit more of a different shape than the other one. Has a different chain, different ways you could wear it. Super cute bag, don't get me wrong. This, I would say, is more of a wallet on chain. The other one is closer to what I would have called a pochette based on previous Louis Vuitton items. So this is item number M11331. It currently comes in cream, which is the one I have, in black. I think black is stunning, but I do have quite a few black bags and I was trying to venture out. This to me screams, ooh, those 90s leather purses that I used to see at garage sales. I don't know. It's got a nostalgia thing for me, even though technically this is a newer purse. It's reminiscent of a purse that, the kind of purses I would have wanted when I was younger. This to me is simply an evening bag or a special event bag. I don't really use this casually. I've actually only used it a few times because the cream it's actually a white. I don't like off creams, especially because I'm like a cool winter tone person. So anything that's kind of in the beiges really doesn't go well with me, even including like something really light like an oatmeal. This I would say is a white. It is beautiful. I love how white it is. It's so crisp and clean, and I've been terrified of getting it marked. However, I do treat it really well when I go out on special nights, and it has held up well, though I do take care of it. This is currently $3,950 Canadian. I bought this in November of 2024, so just about a year ago, and it was $100 cheaper. So, not an astronomical price increase as far as a percent wise when you're looking at Louis Vuitton, but those prices always do creep up. This is made out of a lambskin exterior, which makes it really soft. However, I don't find it exceptionally soft, especially when comparing to something like my Lady Dior. Those vintage ones feel a bit thinner. This lambskin feels a little bit more durable. I had seen reviews of someone getting the larger side in the cream, and they hadn't had much issues with color because it is, and marking, because it is a little bit more hardy. However, I would still obviously pose a lot of caution because white lambskin is going to be one of your most delicate exteriors you can get on a handbag. It has a cowhide interior, which is contrasting. So it's got the dark interior. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside and give you some idea on measurements. So the bag is approximately 8 inches wide, 4.5 inches tall, and then if I'm measuring at the widest part of the base, that's about 3.5 inches wide. So I'm measuring here at the top. This is with only the chains inside of it. It's about 2.5 inches long. Comes with the embossed Louis Vuitton logo. So this is the monogram print, and it's got some gold D-rings on the side. So any kind of detail in hardware is going to be this beautiful gold, which works really, really nicely with this white. And if you open it up, it comes with an adjustable strap. So this is not your classic what I would call like a belt loop style. This is the clip style. So really there's two lengths. There's this shoulder length, which is what I prefer to use it as. And then if you unclip these buttons on either side, you can slide it up to the smaller buttons here, like so. And so you'll still have this double area, but this is going to be a longer strap. I think you could pull it off crossbody, but again, I don't know that I would go crossbody on a white lambskin too often here. So if we were to go from the end of the clip, which is beautiful by the way, just like classic gold clip, you can see the detail with the Louis Vuitton. Again, there's Louis Vuitton on all the buttons. This is the kind of higher end bag where you're going to see those details come out. The chain strap is about, or sorry, the leather strap is about 37 inches long at its longest. So again, you can make this a nice little shoulder, which is what I do when you're looking at an evening bag. I think that's closer to what you're going to go for. However, if you're taller and like that longer, that's great. Whatever floats your boat. There's also Louis Vuitton at Paris on the middle there, just embossed in the cowhide strap. So looking into the purse, I also have the chain. So this is I really liked this Pouchette Coussin compared to the other because this has the real original chain. So the very chunky chain, which I love. I love very sporty, boyish style, but still pretty designer. And this to me screams that. And what's beautiful is on each chain, you can see there's monogram details. It's a beautiful chain. Now, on the larger sizes, it's longer, obviously, because the bags are bigger. And I've heard some people actually wear it as a necklace, which would be pretty cool. I think you could pull it off with this one if you just had an additional strap. You could also make this one like a really big bracelet, I guess. But it's kind of an awkward length as compared to the other one. But you can put that on the outside, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like with the straps on after. Also use it as a shoulder. So when you open it up, you've got the lambskin still here. Pardon me. I believe this part might be cowhide. And then definitely the interior here is cowhide. So it's black on the interior. And I think the black exterior might have white interior. But yeah, there's a zippered pouch here. This is really great for all my little things when I'm going out, stick a lipstick, my key fob, that sort of thing. So there's a really nice, great zipper. There's also this key pouch, or pardon me, this is oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? Card pouch. So if you're just going out for a night and you need your ID, 1 or 2 credit cards, it's perfect. My phone fits in here. So right now I have just the regular size, but I believe the plus might actually fit. 100% the iPhone 15. I have whatever is newest right now. The iPhone 15. I just don't have a Pro. Fits just fine. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like with the chain on the front, which is so cool. I really love using it. And I should really use it on other purses now that I think about it. It would look pretty cool. But there's only one D-ring. So if you're attaching both straps, which I generally do, then you are going to have them on the same D-ring. And when you're storing this, please don't leave these on because they are going to leave impressions in your lambskin. But this is what she looks like with her chain and her shoulder strap. To me, just the cutest, most classic purse ever. I love this bag. It is still one of my favorites. If you haven't seen my top 3 video going through my top 3 most used, most liked, and least liked, you will see this one featured on there. And so if you want to check that out, I'll link it below and above here for you. But right now, let's stay focused on what we are here. So this bag really drew me in. I always love the Coussin line. I'm more hesitant on a large one because if I were to get a large, I would get a darker color. They have some really cool, fun, more limited edition ones. And I think I would consider maybe even getting the other Pouchette Coussins or one of the larger ones in a fun color. However, the lambskin makes me scared. I have a young daughter, and She likes these things. She's young. She's still very careful, but she's little. She's learning. So it's best not to be foolish about those things. So this is really for date night. And I love it. Oh, it's just, it hits a spot for me. I don't think I would ever get rid of this piece. To me, it's a classic, timeless piece in that it's a simple little white one. I really do like white a lot. Black is really nice, but this you can really contrast with what I generally wear, darker coats. And so this really pops. It's also with a chain. You can dress it down if you're going out, with a pair of Adidas tracks. This would look super cool. So it does have that versatility, and it's a beautiful bag. You're not going to fit a ton in there. You're going to fit your phone, your wallet, maybe key pouch, that sort of thing. If you want more details, I did also review this previously, so you can check the links below and I will show you what fits. However, what I really did want to tell you guys about this, and I hadn't before, was how Louis Vuitton lied to me about this. So, Louis Vuitton as an entity didn't lie to me. It's not like I got an email from them. However, when you work for somewhere, you kind of represent them as well. And my first essay I had at Louis Vuitton, thankfully, I don't use anymore. In fact, my essay that I really loved, she just moved, and I'll probably still use her even though she's halfway across the country. But she, first of all, wasn't very good at keeping in touch. She wouldn't really help me out unless I said I was straight up buying something. But when I came in to look at this piece, she hardcore pressure sales me, and she lied. She said this was a limited edition release. She said that based on the inventory at Louis Vuitton, it would be sold out in December of 2024. So I should purchase it soon, and emphasize that this was a limited edition piece. This was not part of the main Coussin collection. I think she might have alluded to the fact that, oh, there's two names for Pouchette Coussin. And so this one's just the limited edition mini, came out spring. So it's going to be gone soon. We just got it in. And so I felt pressured. I did. I knew I really, really loved this bag. However, I had just bought my other Lady Dior, my red one, which was another evening bag. So I thought, well, I would really like this bag. It's just not the right time for me. And foolishly, I still bought it. And a lot of that was the emphasis on how limited this was. It was not going to be here soon. It was going to be gone next week. It was going to be a hard time finding another one if we wanted to. And, I'm pretty disappointed. My new essay is so much more amazing. And my old one doesn't work there anymore. I don't know if that's based on her decision or theirs, but I was pretty upset about it and I didn't really want to work with her anymore. So, yeah, do your research, ask around, and find a trusted essay. A good essay is so important because you can build that relationship and you can build that trust. I was really upset. Yes, I love this bag, but that's not how I want to be treated in a luxury designer store. I don't want to be pressured to making what is a $4,000 purchase just because they want to make a little sale. I don't even know how much she would have made as a bonus on this, but I can assure you it's not worth treating people like that. So please, when you're going there, take your time. Don't feel too much pressured. And one thing that I still have to tell myself all the time, and if you've seen my review of my Keep All 25, I didn't buy it right away, even though that was extremely limited. And my new essay, when we talked about that, she said there's, 5 or less in Canada. It hadn't even been released yet. I could pre order it. And I still took a day to think about it. And I almost lost it. But I'm glad I did. And so take your time and think about something. Even give yourself a small cooling off period and do your research. Ask around. There's lots of good resources out there. And don't feel pressured by these people because that was really upsetting and should not have happened. But I had to learn from it, and that's okay. So, now take the time. This is me telling you, and we all make mistakes. It happens. I still love the bags. Thankfully, it's still something that I would have wanted in my collection. This is one of my favorites. Don't feel pressured. There's always going to be another beautiful purse, especially if you're spending this kind of money. You will always find something else beautiful. This will come up on used websites. Just don't be pressured. curate your collection. Don't let the pressure sales of being in these designer stores get to you, and take your time. Use the communities available to you. I'm trying to culture one here. There's ones on different websites. You can Google all sorts of things nowadays. So take your time. Also, do I love this bag? Yes. Would I say if you're thinking about it and is this something to add? Totally. If you're looking for a, going out bag and this is your style, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful beautiful show of craftsmanship, but you will have to baby it. Just know she takes a lot of work. She's a bit of a diva. All right. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if you've noticed, but this is my new house. We're finally in and settled. So thank you for joining me for my first video in what is hopefully my forever house, and I will not be moving again. So thanks again. I'll see you next week. I like to put out videos every Tuesday morning. So I'll see you in 1 week on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.